Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial we are going to be making this black unicorn burst tumbler. I was inspired by Kristen Henson at Kristin's Creations. I saw her post in the Still Magnolia Tumblr group and reached out to her and asked if it was alright if I recreated this. Her tumbler was absolutely beautiful. She kindly said it was okay to create a tutorial, so I am going to do my best to get close to her beautiful tumbler. I don't have all of the same supplies that she uses and did not ask her how she created her tumbler, because a lot of times we are inspired by things or even other creators' designs, and it's important for us to be able to pick up on the elements of that design and recreate it ourselves with our own spin. So I grabbed this True 22 from the Still Magnolia and painted it a solid black. I come in with Tack It and I went heavy over the center of the tumbler and then fanned it out to the top and the bottom rim. I wish I would have grabbed a higher quality paintbrush before I applied this Tack It, because it does go on pretty streaky if you don't have a really nice smooth paintbrush, which will cause some streaks in whatever you are applying on top of your Tack It. Once I finished painting on my Tack It, I went over with my heat gun. I've had a couple of questions about this heat gun. I just grabbed it from Hobby Lobby. It was less than $20 and it works really well. It's hot, but not too hot to where it causes any of your paints or your glues to bubble underneath. And it has two different settings. So if you're in search for a heat gun, go grab you one of these from Hobby Lobby. It is in the embellishment section. Once this was completely dry, I grabbed some fools. Now the fools that I'm using is from Southern Belle Glitter. Kristen also used some fools from Southern Belle Glitter, except she used Chromoshift and I used Holo, Snow Cone, and Pearlescent. So I'm just going to trim off a sheet of this fool and then I'm going to cut it in the strips and grab out the sections that blend into each other. I don't want any harsh lines, so the best way for me to overlap these colors and make sure that I get all of the colors on either side of the tumbler so that we can see that shift, then I just take out the sections that blend, toss the other pieces to the side. Hopefully that all makes sense, but it will come together once you see how I apply them to the tumbler and overlap them so they have a nice ombre into the next color. So to apply the fools, I'm going to lay them flat over top of my Tack It. You can also get some really awesome fool glue from Southern Belle Glitter, and I have some of it on hand and I just got it, so I completely forgot. But their glue is incredible and works a whole lot better, goes on a lot smoother than this Tack It. So I am applying very light pressure to the end of these fools. So where the fools overlap, I'm applying a little bit more pressure so I can fill in that area, a little less where I need to overlap the next color. And just doing that and using these strips that blend into each other gives you a really nice ombre into the next color rather than any harsh lines. Once I finished this side, I cut out a second batch of fools and repeated the same steps on the other side. Now, if you have the Chromoshift fool, then you can most certainly just cut out a strip wrap it all the way around your tumbler and press it down really well, and you'll be done. It has a color shift, so you don't have to create a shift like we are here. Now, once I finished up all of the Holo rainbow, I moved into adding on this Pearlescent. It's an opal full, so it's going to give more of a color shift effect and help blend these colors in just a little bit more. So I'm adding on another layer of tacket. I will run over this with my heat gun once again to dry it up really well, and then cut off a strip of the Pearlescent and wrap it all the way around the tumbler, press it down really well, and then remove that backing. I'm going to be adding on a decal that references to a mood ring, and I thought adding on this Pearlescent would really give it that mood ring sort of effect. I mixed up 15 milliliters of DIY's Speedy Petey Fast Set Epoxy and grabbed my Cosmic holographic micro powder from PDB Creative Studio. I used way too much. You only need a light dusting, so I had to scoop some of that out, mix it in really well to my epoxy, and then I'm going to apply that to my tumbler. Now, I did take this outside and spray the top and the bottom rim very lightly with the black paint again. I wanted to have a little bit of a better transition between the rainbow and the black. I really didn't like all the harsh streaky lines that paintbrush left when I was applying my tacket. So I went back over on the top and the bottom rim with the black spray paint to give that a little bit better transition and ombre. After I applied my epoxy, I popped this onto my DENOS quick release turner and torched over it really quick to pop any micro bubbles. While that dried, I went to make my decal. I am using a sheet of Holo black and chrome from the Holo gloss vinyl pack from TeckWrapcraft. I cut these out into 4x4 squares and cut my decal out using my Cricut program. The decal that I created for this one says, "I don't need a mood ring, I have a face," which is pretty much explains me 24/7. Believe me, it's unintentional completely, but if I don't say it, my face definitely does. So before we add on our decal, I am going to take a piece of 800 grit sandpaper, since this was spray paint and not glitter. If it was glitter, I would have used a lower grit, and just kind of cup around the top of the tumbler and sand down that rim just a tiny bit to expose a little bit of that stainless. Exposing the stainless around your top rim gives your epoxy something to grab a hold to, so you get a really nice seal. Now, I normally do 3.5 inches as standard on all of my tumblers, but since this had a little bit of an overhang with that mood ring lettering in the center, I made this 4 inches and did a 0.045 offset. Once I positioned and applied my decal, I just popped in one of the foams and my Quick Connect turner arm from DENOS Turners. I really love the foam that I have in this tumbler. It actually comes with 5 layers, and you can remove layers to fit them into specific tumblers. I applied 15 milliliters of fast set epoxy from DIY, allowed this to dry for about 2 hours, and then finished it off with a coat of regular epoxy. Kristen most certainly knocked this out of the park, but I do love how this one turned out using different materials, or different colors rather. I'm gonna link her shop down below for y'all in case you want to place an order for one of her beautiful rainbow tumblers. And of course, links to all of the products that we used in this tutorial, as well as some discount codes for y'all. The mood ring file, along with a couple other variations, will be available in the Brittany Barnes Boutique Epoxy Tumbler art group, so hop on over and join our group on Facebook, and I will have that file linked at the top in the announcements. Thank you all so much. That is all for today, and we will see you next time.